All right, in this video, I'm going to talk about a new software product I've developed called the DS Builder. So DS stands for Digital Strategy, and that's what I focus on. So I used to develop WordPress websites, and I created some really cool processes to streamline that. But unfortunately, the issue that I find with a lot of clients I've worked with in the past is they have an idea of like what they do, but they don't know how to sell what they do. And so the request that comes through is, hey, I need a website. Oh, I like the look of that one. I like the look of that one. Make it look like this. And that's really easy to do. That's not a difficult thing at all. But the issue then becomes they haven't actually worked out how to sell it. We've built the site and then it's actually not selling what they do. So I created the DS Builder to solve that problem. So what you would do is work through, I have a process that you work through and we identify what your customers want. If you watch my last video, I showed some ways that you can find out exactly what your potential customers are saying online. And then we take exactly what they're saying and we formulate a plan to deliver that. And we deliver it in stages, so value stages, the same way you would with a value ladder. The first step on that ladder, the first rung on that ladder is the free thing. That might be a quiz or a download or something like that. So that's your lead magnet. You might have heard that term. And then you're basically just uncovering the problem for them more. So you give them the first one, the diagnosis, and then they step up to the next one, which is usually a paid thing. With the client that I'm working with in this example, we went quiz to a strategy call. I don't think it was called a strategy call. It might have been called, I can't remember what it was called. In any case, they book in for a call, and that's a paid thing. And then after the call, like during the call, they figure out what needs to be delivered for that client. Price gets worked out, all that sort of thing. The cost of the call can be credited towards the plan once they work it out. So that's the sales funnel. There's very low friction at the front end because you're just taking an assessment. Generally, the assessment points out exactly what your problems are, and that gives the business owner exactly what they need to be able to help the person. So I am going to now go ahead and share my screen so we can have a look at what I'm talking about. So what we are looking at here is the DS Builder. And so it's a fairly simple application. I'll just move my head out of the way. So this is kind of our user interface. When you come in, you get your dashboard and it's going to show any of the campaigns that you have running at the moment. So with the client that I'm talking about, we've only got one campaign running, and it's this one here. So I've gone through, so I'll run through exactly the process that I use to get to this point and how it all ties together. And I'll also explain why it's different to WordPress and why I've gone this way with it as well. So I'm just going to switch over to this tab. So, I mean, I could go through the research as well. So we went through a workshop together, myself and this client. I won't say their name. We went through a workshop together and we uncovered sort of all this information about what they needed in their market and how to deliver it. The person attended the workshop with an idea, a rough idea, and we helped chisel out exactly what that would look like. And we based it on data that we found in the market, what people were talking about, based on demand and sales and things like that. Because the whole point of this is about outcomes. It's about getting the result. So that's what we focus on. After we had the workshop and the planning and working out the strategy, we went ahead and chose a template. So this was just downloaded from Envato, and the template file is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And so they are just the building blocks of websites. You might use something like WordPress or Webflow or whatever. They all deliver the same thing in the end, which is this. This is one of the reasons why I wanted to go away from WordPress, because you're loading so much. It's a lot of bloat. It's a lot for the browser. You can be using the best WordPress setup and it can still be slow. And that's just because of the way it works. You're constantly just adding, you're just gluing things on basically. So I wanted to move away from that. I wanted to go to a cleaner web. So cleaner web being just the building blocks, nothing else. We might use embeds and things like that, but it's all HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, and it keeps it very, very clean, and the load time is ridiculously fast. So we chose this template here, and so I've downloaded it to my computer, and we can see it's just got some placeholders in it, and that's what it looks like once you download it. And so obviously we couldn't use every element in the page, and the menu would have to be different. Why is there even a Twitter icon in there? All things we had to work out. And so this is where a little bit of coding comes in. So once we chose the template, I had to then go, actually, I'm jumping all over the place. Let's just take a quick peek back in the builder. So let's ignore these two screens here because they're just development screens. We have live preview and content editor. They're the main ones that are sort of a non-technical person would use. So live preview is where we can actually see what the page looks like. We can also use a feature called design prompting that I've been working on. And so I've selected this section of text, and I might just say it's center aligned at the moment. I might just say left align text. And then it'll take a second. And if I like that, I can accept it. So it's just a quick way to edit just using AI. So I don't want to change that. Cool. So that was a mistake. All right. So all right, so that's the builder. Actually, what I wanted to show you was this. So we've got the live preview, you can make changes there, then the content editor. So you'll notice that there's all these sort of text fields. This is like a big giant form, and you just scroll, and the last field here is the copyright, which is right at the bottom of the footer. So what I've done is I have stripped out the static content, so just the hard-coded text that you would normally get when you download the template. So this stuff here, I've stripped that out and replaced it with placeholders. And then the application that I'm working on here, when I fill out these fields and save it, this information is injected into the placeholders. So that means that a static template like this becomes something that you can edit the same way you would go into WordPress and make changes to content, except it's just a form. It's so easy to use. And then, of course, I want to change a picture or something like that, I can come through and just edit just by clicking on things like so. So you can change button text, all that sort of thing. It's very, very cool. I'm very, very proud of what it looks like. We've got lead capture, analytics, all in this one place, which just makes it very cool. I went through and I've populated all the data, and we've got this. I've published the page, so I've got it open here. This is what it looks like now once I've made the changes. So what I'm going to do is drag it across here, and I'm just going to. So this is the template. You see, it's very, very close. We changed some the social icons. We changed the image in the hero section. We changed the text as well. So it's all been updated. I might even adjust the font size here, because what I really want is this button here to be visible above the fold. So I want it to be shown at it kind of sits in just a little bit low. I might want it up a little more. So this font could come down just a little bit. Let's see how it looks. So if I were just to quickly make that change, let's call it 2.85 EM. That's much better already. I can see it. Yeah, there you go. Perfect. And then if I close that, that's exactly what I want. So I'll make that change. And then as we're scrolling through, and I'll just flick back across. So there was the 3 cards. Same again. Let's have a look. So all of this is the same. We just updated the content. And of course, that can be edited at any time through the DS Builder. So this one is where people subscribe. So this is where the users would end up in leads. So there won't be any leads at the moment, as you can see, but that's okay. So scrolling down again, we've added in the client's details. We got that second call to action there, some testimonials, and then we've got a custom quiz. So this is a readiness quiz. It's functional as well. And we had to adjust the font type because if we scroll back to this one, so you'll notice a lot of this stuff has been pulled out to make it fit with what the client is doing. And then, so we stripped out the blog section. So this is where the quiz is actually sitting. So we've actually gone and added that in separately. So a lot of this was done with AI. Some of it is templates, and then some of it is just knowledge that I have from years of web development. So the time to actually complete the tasks that I just spoke about there. So this page is basically ready. It needs logos, and it just needs some content like the PDFs and any embed to a booking platform. It's all just technical things that are very, very quick to do. So time to complete, this took me, I would say, started at 9 and then finished at, I think 10:30. So an hour and a half to do that. And then, there's those few other technical things. So I don't know, let's call it 2 hours. And we've gone from nothing to this, completely editable. We can come back and manage this anytime. We've got lead capture, and I'll show you in another video, but we've also got Microsoft Clarity for analytics. So this shows you like a heat map of where people have clicked on the page, where they've scrolled to, how long they've spent on things, if there's any errors, those sort of things. So I'm going to show you that in another video. But in this one, I really just wanted to show off how effective the DS Builder is, and how we can get to from basically nothing to something. And as a whole, I worked with this client through the workshop to create the strategy. We spent 4 hours working on the strategy, and then say the other 2 hours for me to build a page, 6 hours of work. And this client has gone from a vague idea of what they wanted to do to actually being in a position to sell it and deliver that for the clients that they want to help. So that's pretty impressive. I'm pretty proud of that. Yeah, I'm going to wrap it up there, but thanks for sticking around and watching the video. Give it a like and subscribe if you want some more of this.